Alright, so they ask us to find the slope and the y-intercept of a line with the equation. This is in our standard form, our ax plus by equals c format, but it says using the slope and the y-intercept. Now we know that the slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b, where this is our slope and the b is the y-intercept. Now we have to make this equation fit that format, so basically we're going to take our given equation and solve it for y equals. So I'm going to move 3x to the other side. And then still haven't gotten y equals by itself, so divide everything by -4. Finally, we get y equals 3/4 x plus -12 divided by -4 is a +3. Now this is our slope-intercept form. Considering that the slope is always the number in front of the coefficient of x, so with that in mind, we know our slope in this case is 3/4. And the y-intercept is 3, which oftentimes is written as the ordered pair 0, 3. So you start at your y-intercept. We're going to start here. 0, 1, 2. Start at 0, 3. And then you're going to use our rise over run for our slope. So up 3, right 4. So from here, go up 1, 2, 3, to the right 1, 2, 3, 4. And then sketch your line. So this would be your equation using slope-intercept form. Okay, in number 8, this time they give us this equation, this line, the graph of the line, and ask us for the slope, the y-intercept, and the equation in function notation. So let's just see if we can find two particular points on this graph. First of all, this is the ordered pair 0, 2, and this is the ordered pair 3, 0. Okay. First of all, this is my x-axis, recall, and this is my y-axis. So my y-intercepts, where this line crosses the y-axis is my y-intercept. So actually we already know our y-intercept is the ordered pair 0, 2. Now my slope, I can either calculate rise over run. It may be hard to see this, but I'll try it. So if I start here, I'm going to rise 1, 2, and I'm going to go to the left 1, 2, 3. So I went to the left 3. I'm expecting that my slope is going to be -2/3, but let's calculate that using those 2 points. Y slope equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, and that's the formula for my slope. Okay, y2 minus y1, so I have 0 minus 2, and then I have 3 minus 0 will give me -2/3. So my slope is -2/3, and I found that 2 ways. I used 2 points and I put it in my slope formula, and I got -2/3, or I physically counted how many did I rise, how many did I run, and used the rise over run. Okay, now equation of the function in function notation. First of all, y equals mx plus b is slope-intercept form. I know my m, I know my b, so y equals, my m was -2/3, and my b is the intercept 2. Now function notation, remember all that means is just replace y with f of x, so -2/3 x plus 2. This is going to be our equation in function notation. And the last thing we're going to talk about today is going to be our parallel lines. Let me see if I can move this thing. Parallel lines are going to be, they have the same slope, and the one way I remember that is because L has two L's back to back, the same, they never cross, they never touch. Okay, and the most thing you want to remember is that they have the same. Perpendicular have negative reciprocals. That means if I have 2/3, the reciprocal is 3/2, and the negative reciprocal of that is negative 3/2. If I had -5, the negative reciprocal would be positive 1/5. Okay, so that's just recalling some reciprocals. Uh, the next thing you're going to do is write the equation in slope-intercept form. So we're going to recall where we're going. Slope-intercept form, passing through a P given the following condition. Now, parallel to this line. All we need to know about parallel is we need the slope of the very first line that's given. So I can't tell the slope of this line just yet, but I can solve it for y and put it in slope-intercept form, because my slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. So if I take this equation, x plus 3y, and solve it for y equals, I can determine my slope. So I would have 3y equals negative x plus 6. Divide everything by 3. Y is equal to negative 1/3 x plus 2. Now all we care about is that slope. And the slope is going to be the coefficient in front of the x. So the slope of the given line is negative 1/3. I need parallel. Parallel means use the same slope. So when I make my equation, I'm going to use the same slope, and then they told me to use the point -1/5. So let's put that in point slope form, because we have a point, because we have a slope. Y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. Y minus 5 equals negative 1/3. X minus a -1 would be plus 1. Now, I have a fraction in this one, so I want to get rid of the fraction. So I'm going to multiply everything through by a 3. Because my denominator is a 3, I'm going to say times 3, times 3, times 3. That would give me 3y minus 15. This 3 cancels this 3, and I have negative 1 times x is negative 1x. Negative 1 times positive 1 is negative 1. And we're trying to get this in slope-intercept form, which is right here, so we want y by itself. So I'm going to add 15 to both sides. So I have 3y is equal to negative x plus 14, divide everything by 3. Parallel line to the one that was given to us is y equals negative 1/3 x plus 14/3. And this line is parallel to the given line. Okay, for this next part, we want perpendicular to this. Now, if you notice, this x plus 3y equals 6 is exactly as this x plus 3y equals 6. So I don't have to go back and do all this scratch work to find out that the slope of that is negative 1/3. If the slope is negative 1/3, but this time I want perpendicular, perpendicular slope means I'm going to use m equals positive 3, because it's the negative reciprocal of the given line. So now I'm going to use this slope. I'm going to use that same point, which is, I'm going to move this up some so I have room. So I'm going to use the point, the slope that's perpendicular, which is 3, and I'm going to use the point P -1/5. Okay, so I'm going to erase some of that old stuff off of there, and now I'm going to do y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. Y minus 5 equals 3. X minus a -1 is just plus 1. I'm trying to solve this thing for y equals because it wants it in slope-intercept form right there. So I'm going to say 3x plus 3. And I'm going to get y by itself, so I need to add 5 to both sides. And this gives me y equals 3x plus 8. This equation of this line is perpendicular to the given equation. And our very last thing, it says, take your answer that you found in this one above and put it in standard form. So I take my answer of the perpendicular equation found above, and standard form says you want ax plus by equals c. So I need to move x to the other side, and that gives me negative 3x plus y equals 8. And then it says a term cannot be negative and it cannot be a fraction, so multiply everything through by -1 and change all the signs. So we get 3x minus y equals -8 would be standard form.